Good afternoon, everyone. This is Darren Benson with Performance Motorcoaches. We're in Middlebury, Indiana today doing a walkthrough video of a sold 2025 Showhauler. This is a pretty customized coach. We're out in front. If everybody's been here, we tried to get Matt to come out and join us, try to get Bob, but they don't like the camera. So we'll leave them be. We might surprise them later on. But we're going to do a walkthrough video inside now. Oddly enough, it's April 4th. A little brisk. It's a little brisk in here in northern Indiana. The chassis itself, this is my first Western Star 57X. Just kind of a little bit different look. It's essentially a kind of a twin to a Cascadia, maybe a cousin of the Cascadia. So very bold look with the grille, a little bit different visor. We're going to try to do a blackout package on this. We're just kind of scratching our heads on what to black out. You know, this grille is not offered in black, so we're thinking about leaving some of that stuff, basically doing like maybe the wheels and the steps and leave a few other pieces, maybe take the visor. So a little bit different look, but it's essentially a Cascadia with a little bit tougher look, a little bit nicer dash, a little bit nicer doors as well. So it is the Detroit 600 horse, so it's the DD 15.6 liter. It is mated to the DT12 transmission. I believe that these are built in Canada versus Mexico. Most of the Cascadias are built down in Mexico. They might be on Washington as well, but essentially when you slam the door, it kind of roughly feels like a Cascadia. Kind of a cool look to it. Still 18,000 pound front axle, 120 gallon fuel tank. We do have the I believe that's a 42-inch bunk over on it. It's a full 2 bath. We'll go through it really quick as my camera person is starting to shiver a little bit. Outdoor TV. So essentially with Showhaulers, everything's a la carte. Outdoor TV, side swing baggage doors, the number of awnings, the number of slides, everything is pretty much customized. Open up a few of these baggage compartments. Do a lot of custom one-off stuff with tile, so all this tile was ordered in for this coach. We'll get it back to Texas over the weekend and give it a nice little bath, get it cleaned up, and I might do a follow-up video next week once I get home, if we can get it cleaned up and get the blackout package done, figure out what we're going to do with it. So oddly enough, or not oddly enough, uniquely enough, this is a painted white coach, so the customer wanted the white look without having to worry about, you know, the single stage baked on enamel. So once this thing gets cleaned up and gets some sunlight on it, it's really going to pop, really going to flash. 100-gallon water tank below the coach. That's an auxiliary system. So you have your water pump there. It does have the Oasis hydronic system. It's going right now, so the camera person can warm up once they get inside. Fiberglass cap, it's optional cap. We do a few different optional light setups right here. So we did a ton of lights on the back side. This thing is pretty well lit up as far as security lights, additional running lights, kind of a wow factor. Factory included ladder there, 40,000 pound hitch assembly, that's rated at 30,000 pounds right there. Camera plug. So this is the main wet bay right here. I don't remember if we did a hydronic register back there, kids. It's way underneath there. We have a hot and cold water, or hot and cold shower out there as well. Transfer switch and 36-foot short cord. We did dual inverters, that's why you'll see the additional 50 amp plug setup, or 50 amp breaker setup. So this coach is pretty well dialed in to do lots of boondocking, to be able to run a lot of stuff off of the inverters without having the need for the generator. This is the wet bay for the front bath. So you have 288 gallons of total waste on board. I like the placement of the generator on a Showhauler instead of back behind the axle. Nice placed kind of mid-coach. You don't have to worry about sucking a bunch of dust into it. 2 multi+2 inverters, so 6,000 watts. But the nice thing is You have a full 50 amp pass through on each one of those. I don't remember exactly how many panels up top. I think we did a total of 8 panels up top. So her 4 270 amp hour batteries stacked on top there. I'll open up this to kind of see the inside. Check out those really cool seats there with the cross stitched on them. A little bit nicer dash layout as well, but very Cascade-ish. We'll jump inside. We'll probably end up doing a grill guard on it. I don't know if there's going to be much variation from the Cascadia, but it shouldn't be anything too much different. So I'm going to turn the heat off just for the sound. Heat's cranking pretty good. Are you going to live? You'll be okay. So this is a 2 full bath. We could do a few different configurations with this floor plan as far as slides. So this is an elongated slide right here to accommodate the pantry here. There's another slide we can accommodate a refrigerator in this as well. Now things kind of change once you get over here. So this is a combo slide right here. So this is your bunk beds and closet all in one. We built the same floor plan with a total of 3 slides if you wanted a little bit more privacy here. We took the trim up a little bit, and we have another little piece of trim there that goes inside and slides. So you have some more privacy, but it's nothing quite like a totally framed in door. The nice thing about the way this is set up right here, it allows us to go ahead and put this much larger pantry in here, which kind of, to me, is kind of a no-brainer to have this nice big pantry. Pull out. I've been trying to do LED strips in all the pantries. All the closet just kind of, to me, just makes sense to be able to see inside. Kind of have a little bit different look. As far as stain on this coach, this is a Kona stain, which is kind of a brownish, coffee-ish stain. Forget the name. Was that Bridal Ultra Leather? I think that was Bridal. It's either Bridal or Lasso. That's one thing I can't tell you. But anyway, this is Villa furniture. Of course, they upgraded the Villa theater seats. Check out these. There's like Atari right here. Pew pew. So, oh, if you knew that, you probably wouldn't have got out of here, would you? You'd have been still sitting here. You got to come back. Let me drive you tax system. So, little storage there. Put all your extra remotes. Reader's Digest. Reader's Digest will fit great in there. Big cab cut out here. I'm still wowed by these seats. Do you like the seats? Am I crazy? A little bit different trim here on the dash. Just kind of gives it a little bit of wow factor. Of course, we got the backup and the side cams. We'll be able to toggle through those for trailer cameras as well. But nice one-piece windshield, adaptive cruise, crash mitigation, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning. So pretty well decked on it. This piece can technically fold up, but I really don't know why you'd ever need to fold it up. We just do it for the additional opening right here. So something a little bit different we did there. We did a 50-inch TV, which I think gives it a little bit different look. You know, now you walk into a coach and see a 43-inch TV and it seems tiny. So move the cabinet over a little bit. You'll notice no AV center in here. We were losing a lot of space to basically audio visual. Now everybody's just doing Starlink. You don't have to worry about cable boxes, anything like that. Now, if a customer wanted to do something after the fact, I think we might have done some provision back in there for Xbox or something like that. But that's something we can easily do. We could build a shelf underneath there. So lots of different things. But to me, it was important to retain. Previously, this much of the kitchen was taken up for some type of audio visual. Like to kind of have that back. So a little bit different edge on this. These are quartz countertops right here. Kind of, you know, to me, a little bit cleaner look, something a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Nice drawer bank. pull-out trash can, induction cooktop, and then so customer pretty much picked all the colors on this. He caught it right as we were about to go into production with it, and we basically accommodated most anything we could think of for them. And that's kind of been the trend here lately. It seems like we, you know, the very few stock units we do put in, because generally most of the units are sold, they generally sell prior to actually getting produced. So always call us. You know, we'd be happy to let you guys know if we have something that's in production that maybe we can deviate, or maybe just get a little bit faster. So kind of keep that in mind. Go ahead and do the same quartz countertop over here. I don't like the convertible dinettes. They're a little rickety, especially using quartz. It's much, much heavier than any kind of Corian. So I think just a little bit better setup. Nice little 110 with USB and USB-C there as well. Another thing, look at this, kids. No carpet. No carpet. So basically picked the luxury vinyl tile with a little bit of stair cove to be able to go on the edge. Well, unfortunately, we still have to do that on that transition piece because we have a lot of movement there. But we've gone through at times and done like a little canvas piece to be able to snap down in place there, and be able to take that and kind of wash it, clean it. So there's a few different things. I'm really trying to push to get away from carpet. Maybe in time we'll come up with something a little bit better for that transition piece. Ceiling fan, 3 ACs. The unique thing about the ACs on all the Showhaulers, they are a 15,000 BTU roughneck series, which has a little bit more support, a little bit better bracketry inside. So typically we see a lot of failures with things moving inside the air conditioner, especially if you're utilizing the air conditioner driving up and down the road, which is obviously what this customer wants to do with all the lithium and all the inverters on board. So always happy to have those air conditioners. And another thing, they are heat strips, not heat pumps. So they'll work down to, 20 degrees or so, versus heat pumps generally, they lose their efficiency about anything about 40 degrees or below. So heated tile floors, we've got a coach coming up. We did a total diagonal. We like to retain the 12 by 24. Talked to the tile guy yesterday. They're going to these 48-inch tiles. I think it's going to be a disaster to try to put a 48-inch tile inside a coach, so we're going to try to retain this. But I think we're going to experience a few issues trying to get a higher end tile with this smaller 12 by 24. I just can't imagine putting a 36 by 48. Is that right? It's one big giant tile. Standard Samsung fridge. This is a like 18 cubic foot. Got the washer dryer here, and what I mentioned earlier, the LED strip lights in there to kind of illuminate that area. Plenty of storage up top. Little pocket door. When Showhauler changed up the program a little bit with the Firefly, integrating more things into the Firefly, they did this much larger screen, which I think is very welcomed as well. Isolate your bunkhouse there. These are big kid approved bunk beds, so I'm right at 6 foot. I'll close that. Close that without smashing my foot. So still plenty of room. Turn the lights on, off, accent lights. But some of my best sleeping has been in motorhome bunk beds, believe it or not. So we try to do, well, I guess our 110s are back in there, 110 with USBs. They're inside there, and then kind of getting your cord wrapped around your neck while you're sleeping or anything like that. But you can isolate this. We do have a little bit of storage underneath each one of those as well. And we're going to pop into the first full bath. Number one thing, I really like the window in here. Try to do as many windows as possible. To me, just kind of nice to have a window in the bathroom here, but still a fair amount of room. Of course, check this out up top. So with the Multi Plus 2, basically utilizing both inverters. So we have two 50 amp pass-throughs. So we're running both the front and the rear air conditioner. We don't have heated tile floors, but with the amount of things we can easily put on the inverter, it wouldn't be a problem to be able to integrate more things into the inverter. So kind of keep that in mind. Max air fan up top. All convertible shelving. We'll generally ship all these things loose so that way we can put them placed properly where a customer might want them. Has Bob come out yet? Wave to Bob. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. So the customer did all the selections on the tile here. I think I like this penny tile. We've done a lot of like the river rock, and to me it's just, it's just kind of getting a little boring, so I like to see a little bit variation here. The mirror in here kind of has a little wow factor to it, but basically lots of customization in the way of doing this as an accent, and then back in the shower niches, and then also the shower floor itself. All regular manual flushing toilets where you could access the black tank up front without having to do any kind of macerator, so lots of utility involved in this. So this is a 72-inch wide bed. The customer did not want the window at the head of the bed. I know somebody else that likes to sit up in bed and read and maybe have a little cup of coffee in the morning. So you have to do a escape window somewhere. So basically we were able to do the big TV, cover just the very top portion of that, but still have that as a access or egress out of here. So there again, just kind of matter of preferences. The closets get a little bit smaller, but still I can put a lot of clothing within the. There's so many different cubby holes and whatnot not to be able to accommodate, but it's a big thing. Come in, it's your wallet, your keys. The only thing, we don't have a plug here. We'll figure out. We'll get a plug. We'll get a plug there. So if I was, I think we put a plug back in there or there. If the customer so decides, maybe he'll answer us when we do this video. So there again, just a matter of preference, but I think all the colors turned out really well. Ivory on the walls versus white, which I think works a little bit better with the Kona. I think it's just a little too stark, if you're trying to get a little bit softer feel. So white ceiling, ivory walls, and then all your water is below the bed itself. So there's 150 gallons of water below the bed. And you have little windows on each side so you can see who's coming to your entry if you're in bed. Similar type setup right back here. They basically do this so that way the RV antifreeze doesn't take and stain any of the grout there. But no skylight here. To me, you get all the air you need just off the max air fans. Convertible shelving here. And then we could have done a window back here. There again, it's kind of a matter of preference. I'd like to see Sean Lee take all the towels and roll them up in little. And you would. How happy would you be if you rolled up all the towels and you just saw nothing but towels there?
Fabulous.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do the squat test. Got a little hiding spot right down there. Uh-oh. Boy, I screwed it now. So, little spot right there. Got a spot right there. Actually goes right back. You see all that? Look at all that room. All that room for activity. If I never see another stainless sink, I'll be a happy man. So I think just nice, clean. Did the full backsplash up the wall there. Do some lights underneath the vanity to kind of accentuate the plumbing and the backsplash as well. So all in all, I think it's a good setup. It's always nice to build a coach that you're excited about. If customers' needs might change or anything like that, it's not the end of the earth to be able to sell it. But I think this customer is going to be the other side of Dallas. I think they're really excited about getting a more of a customized coach. They're coming from a Renegade Verona, and just it served its purpose, but they want kind of the next level. And so they're going to have a lot more room in here. I always find that if mama doesn't have to share her toilet with boys, she's a lot happier person. So she'll have her own area back here. She might make the husband use the front bathroom. So nice to be able to have 2 full baths in this coach. So a ton of room here. A little bit darker floor. The idea was if the kids come in a little bit dirtier, I think the only thing is we'll probably end up doing a good steaming on the grout and do some sealing on the grout for them, so we don't have to worry about them getting the grout dirty. That's about the only downfall to that setup. But all in all, I really like the colors. Like the fact that we were able to bring, some gray tones and predominantly tan tones as well for a pretty cool look. We got some gray tones, backsplash, shower. I'm typically not a big fan of. I'm kind of done with this style of backsplash as far as the glass, but the colors really, to me, is what brings it in. The fact that you have so many varying colors there that really ties into each portion of the coach makes a huge difference. What do you think, Shawnee?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, so it's cool to be able to take something that's been used for basically 2 decades, but be able to put the colors in them and really bring it to 2025. Well, we will perhaps do a follow-up video on this coach next week when I get back to Texas. It's going to be nuts. We got stuff coming out of our ears. We got coach arrived yesterday. With this, will get on the road. We got another one next week. We got 2 next week. It's going to be busy. So excited that we're so incredibly busy. Appreciate all the customers that have entrusted their business with us. We'll do everything we can to try to get everybody accommodated. If you have any questions, let us know. The website is pmcrv.com. I believe the phone number there at the dealership, I never call it, 806-412-0015, but always Google it. Performance Motorcoaches in Wolford, Texas. We'll bring you one more video this weekend of a available 2025 Renegade XL 45 DBM. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that sometime this weekend. Always appreciate you guys watching these videos. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.